Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. Join my 2027 retreats. Oh my gosh, if you haven't been on one of my retreats, you need to come and join one. And in 2027, we have Dubai in April and we have Bali in October. Dubai, think business strategy and mindset, and in Bali, think healing and mindset. They're both going to be very different and equally incredible. So if you want more information, let me know. The link is below. But also, I know it feels ages away, but the spaces go ridiculously fast and we're putting long payment plans in place. So make sure you grab your space today. Welcome back to A Life of KG. I am here with Tara Rose, who I'm so excited to have on the show. Welcome, Tara.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
I just love having you here. Now, I actually want to tell you a little story.
This is what you were going to say.
No, so I've actually mentioned you many times in podcasts.
Oh, really?
In this podcast and others and to my clients and stuff, because I always remember when I was in the middle of transitioning to Dubai. And I come to yours for an event.
Yeah.
I actually saw you at Beauty World. I think you were speaking. And I was like, need her in my life. She's going to be my friend, but she doesn't know it yet. And then I think it was like randomly, I think it was like the next day and the event was held at yours. And I was like,
crazy.
how weird is that?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, there we go. Meant to be.
No, so it was so weird. And then when I met you there, I just remember you being so warm and I was in the middle of being like, oh, I don't know whether to move here or whether I'm doing 50%, like 50% here, 50% in the UK. And I remember you saying to me, because you got the most incredible location, like the beautiful salon space. Upstairs, you've got the event room. And beside that, you've got the podcast studio, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
That I don't use enough.
No. And I was like, I love this space. And you literally turned around to me. You done it again here today. And he was like, you can use my space whenever you want. And he was like, if you want to do training, because I was like, I don't know whether to bring my lash courses here. He was like, if you want to do lash training up there, just use it. If you want to use the podcast studio, just use it. And I was like, wow. I was like, you wouldn't get this in the UK.
No, well, you don't get it many places, to be fair, do you? It's, I don't know, I think, I like to see people doing well, you know? And I think
me too, it's rare.
It's rare, but I think, it's rare. And I think sometimes people are quite taken back by it. But, I think you get a lot further if you can, yes, you can be taken advantage of, but I do offer out a lot of help and stuff as well, but I am quite a lot firmer than I do seem as well. But help people, and it goes back to my story really, because I never had that.
Yeah.
That help.
No, it really, really resonated with me. It meant a lot, especially being new in the country, and it just really isn't anything that people do normally other than me, so it was actually quite nice someone offering me the support back.
It's like, what she want from me?
And I didn't take you up on the podcast because I was like, oh no, I have to pay for everything, I need to do all the stuff. But it's just nice to know that there is other people that have you in your corner, so thank you for that.
No problem. And it's funny though, because you're obviously the same as me. Like, I always offer it out, but I never accept it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Never. Here we are today in a different studio. So it is funny. But anyway, do a little intro for me. Who you are, what you do, locations, all of those things.
So my name is Tara and I'm originally from the UK, and I've been in the UAE now for 17 years. I know I don't look old enough. And I've always been a hairdresser. Did terribly at school, like most of us do, and fell into hairdressing at 16. And it has been a journey, shall we say. And then moved to the UAE 17 years ago. And then now I opened my first salon 10 years ago, and now I have 4 and a barbershop and an academy, and now just launched our first franchise as well in the Bahrain.
That's amazing.
But it's not as easy as it seemed. There's a definite story behind it.
Then tell me, like, some of the stories. What made you come to Dubai in the first place, and then what got you into having your own salon?
So I had to come to Dubai, really. I had no options. My life had got that bad in the UK. I was pretty much had nowhere to live. I was claiming benefits. I'd got into the wrong circles, the wrong crowds, and my sister was living out here. So my mum and dad were like, come on, let's take you on holiday. And then I came, and I remember that first day thinking, oh my God, wow, this is amazing. And then 6 months later, I'd moved out and was working in another salon. You know, I think the story and how I got to that point and how I got here is you know, when I say it, like, I never fitted in at school. You know, I was very lost. Now I know that I was meant to be different, do you know what I mean? And not blend in. But I struggled. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be liked. But then, like I say, hairdressing, I remember that first day walking into the salon, my first day at work, and I was like, oh my God, these people are the same as me. Do you know what I mean? Like, gives me goosebumps now thinking about it. Like, I remember that first day, like, thinking, everybody's the same as me. Do you know what I mean? And it was the most amazing environment. I wasn't strapped to a desk, like, trying to memorize things, you know, and we were working hard and, you know, we were having fun at the same time. And I'll never forget, like, people, you know, were coming in from the rain, do you know what I mean? Looking really stressed out. And then you'd see them sat in the chair having their hair cut. And then everything changed, do you know what I mean? Like, they had that, like, 45 minutes to an hour where they could relax, you know, unpack everything from the day, and then walked out looking and feeling so much better, you know. And it's a big part of why I do what I do now. And it's only that, you know, these key moments that really make you, you know, understand these things of the power of what we do in the salon industry. But, you know, unfortunately it wasn't enough, because for me, I didn't have the tool set that I have today. Do you know what I mean? Like, we believe what we think. And unfortunately, you know, with lack of not feeling good enough, people pleasing, just wanting to blend in, not understanding what happiness was or how to make myself happy, like, throughout the years, you know, I started to drink too much. I was, you know, became like, you know, I was having, like, addiction problems and stuff like that. And it took over, you know, and it was because it was the one thing that made me feel better.
Yeah.
And now I know that I have ADHD. Do you know what I mean? Which makes a lot of sense. And I've only had that diagnosis in the last sort of 8 months. And everybody's like, did you not know? And I was like, no. But
how did you feel after you got that diagnosis? Was you like, oh, like relief, or how did you feel?
I mean, I see it as it's a definite superpower.
Oh, 100%.
100%. But back then I didn't understand it, so it's self-destruct as well, because that's why you're chasing the dopamine, because that first or second drink, you sit there and all of a sudden everything's quiet. Do you know what I mean? You feel free, you feel relaxed. But unfortunately for people like us, you chase that because you don't want that feeling to end, you know, and that's where a lot of addiction problems come from this, because you don't want to go back to the way you felt before. Yeah. Because you're just so anxious, on edge, and you don't know how to feel about things. So, look, I think I've done that much work on myself that it was just, you know, another one to add to the many other labels that I've given myself over the years. But yeah, it's just, it's, you know, it's a superpower for sure, because when I want something, I won't give up, you know, and I'm 100 million miles an hour. But yeah, I think it makes sense to the drink, the alcohol, in combination with how I'd been sort of programmed and thought about myself. You know, no wonder. Like, you know, because it's easier to go off and do these things, and rather than trying to think, oh my God, who am I? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like now, obviously, like I say, I'm not that old, but there's so much more out there. You know, there's so many more resources. There's so many more, everything. There's so much free information out there. Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. So my 20s were, I loved my job, but I just didn't know who I was. And then I got the opportunity to move here. And I was like, that's it. My life's changed. But it hadn't. I just moved the problem. So then same sort of thing started to happen again. And a very good friend of mine who's now, she had to sack me. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I went through a few jobs here. So yeah, it's, you know, it's not been an easy journey.
Yeah. Wow. So obviously, how did you then decide to, if you obviously kept leaving these jobs, like getting yourself in these situations, what then made you open up your own salon?
Well, I met my husband here and we're very similar. We'd gone through the same sort of thing and we met in Dubai and we're very similar stories and we ended up moving to Abu Dhabi. So I think we've been in Dubai 3 years. So, you know, back then in Abu Dhabi, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And it was like, there was nowhere I wanted to work. You know, I really just I couldn't find anywhere. And then we'd come up with the idea that was like, maybe just open your own place, you know. And once my husband's put his mind to something, he's like, he just kept pushing it. And to be honest, I would have probably talked myself out of it, 100%. And yeah, that was it. I believe opening my salon saved me.
Yeah.
Saved me because you've got to dig deep because you've got no choice. You know, in the hard times, it's not just you. You've got all these people that rely on you. And I think that was it. You know, it went from not knowing where I wanted to work to, well, if all these people can do it, surely I can do it. And I remember the first day I opened, I was like, just cried my eyes out. I was like, oh my God, what have I done?
What do I do now?
I was like, no idea how to run a business. I've got this huge villa. I can cut and colour hair, you know, but that's about it, you know. Anyway, you learn the hard way, bit by bit, don't you?
You do, and you get there. And I think it's very similar to me. Like, I very much feel like my business has saved me in many different ways. And it's still over the years as well, saves you in different situations, right?
And almost breaks you.
Oh, God. It's like with personal stuff happens, my business keeps me strong, like all of those things. So I completely get that. But also it's the hardest thing ever, which is why I think most people don't make it past the 10 years because it's a lot.
I got to 9 years. So it was our 10-year anniversary. What year? Yeah, last year. The year before that, it got to the 9-year anniversary and I was like, what am I doing? I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Like, how did I think I could do this? Because again, you know, every year of business, every bit of expansion requires a new version of you. Do you know what I mean? And I expanded pretty quickly and, you know, I didn't have it. I didn't have that new version of me. I hadn't gone back and done the work. And ultimately then everything started to fall apart. And I just remember thinking like, deluded. I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, the breakdowns, you got to face it or you run away, isn't it? So anyway, faced it. And I've come out stronger than I've ever been before. And see so much more clearly. Yeah. So it is one of those things like we're put on this planet to evolve one way or another. And you're supposed to go through the hard times because if you don't go through the hard times and it's too easy, how are you supposed to get to the next level, you? Because when we're comfortable, and this is the thing, it had got comfortable and easy. Comfortable and easy. I was like, well, I've done it once, I've done it twice, I'll do it again, do it 3 times. Like, and that's it, that complacency it was like, right, hang on a minute, you've got a few lessons to learn here. Yeah. I'm going to take a few things away. Yeah. You've got to go back and do the work.
I think I hear, especially from my clients all the time, is, okay, when does this get easier? When does this get easier? And it's like, sorry, babe, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And like I said, a new growth comes with a new problem, a new issue. You know, it just is business. It's such a roller coaster with the ups and the downs. And I think people will listen to you and or see you and be like, oh, okay, so when I get to this point, it'll be easier. But now I'm sure you still have many issues daily.
Bigger problems, more staff, more risk, everything. Do you know what I mean? It's just on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Like it's not the more money you earn or the more you have, the bigger the problems.
Yeah.
The more like, oh my God, this could ruin everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm going to lose my job. I've got to be like, this could wipe me out. Do you know what I mean? If I do this wrong. I think the best thing that I've learned is you work on the things that people can't take away from you. Do you know what I mean? Like you work on you, your confidence, your self-worth. It's not about learning, you know, the next haircut or color or listening to your friend down the road. It's like, what is it that you're really thinking in here? How are you feeling about yourself? And how are you going to overcome that?
Yeah,
because
sure.
we're all programmed into thinking something. So it's, work on the things that you struggle with. Don't ignore them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
with you owning these salons, you must have a hell of a lot of staff.
Yeah.
How do you deal with like team management, leadership, making sure everyone's kind of running with the same culture as you?
It's a hard one. Like I've got the most amazing teams and salons. Like I really do, you know, and I think I spoke to you a little bit about it earlier that for me, I hire on values. I hire on values and mindset. Skill set can be taught all day long. Yeah. Obviously, you've got to be, you know, the basics, but skill set and no mindset, I'd rather not. You know, because again, unfortunately in this world, 95% of people think that they shouldn't be better or, you know, that they've done it and that's it. And, you know, every day blends into each other. So first of all, values and skills, values and mindset over everything. You know, your interview process, your onboarding is really, really important. You know, you've got to set it out from what's expected straight away, so people understand. But I mean, it's a difficult one also because, again, I've had to step away now from the recruitment process because I make it really hard for the team because I sell the dream. You know? I don't sugarcoat it. Say, look, there's many opportunities. I won't spoon feed you, but this and this. But people can see that I've done it and buy into it, and then they're like, oh yeah. But then the thing is now, because we're so much bigger, you don't get me, you know, either. And I think that's been really hard for some of my team members. Like, you know, I can come in and people will listen and they, you know, or they understand it and they get it. And then obviously, you know, like we grow from within, you know, so people are just learning these skills and coming up through the ranks and all of that stuff. So it takes years of a lot of pain to be able to, you know, talk in a certain way. But so that's hard. But generally, you know, we've got a very, very good team and culture. For me, I suppose I struggle to balance because I'm very much like you, like I want to run. Yeah. I want to run like I nut, like I want to, but again, I have to remember like, oh, come on guys, let's go, you know, and it's, because I think I'm always looking at ways to be better. How can I make the business better? How can I make myself better? But you go from working in it to on it so much. And I was working on it so much that you forget to be. So it's finding the...
It's really that balance, isn't it? It's really hard. I mean, I teach most people how to step out.
Yeah.
And you know, how to work on the business because there's no idea how to run an actual business. But then it's still then making sure that you're not far away from it, that you're still actually seeing the day to day, and having that balance is so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Because nobody's going to feel like your business like you do.
Yeah.
You know, and people need that energy. You know, so for me now, I'm back in the salons. I do salon visits Mondays and Tuesdays, you know, and just, you know, I've gone in with different eyes this year. Okay, I'm not into micromanage and stuff like that, but I'm there. The frameworks that we follow when I'm in there, it's more about, right, we're going to discuss this. And then next week when I come back, you're going to tell me what you think about it. You know, in terms of like, here's the SOP, do that, follow it, this, because people become like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just doing the list.
Yeah.
So getting them to learn in a different way and think in a different way. And then, you know, the team obviously seeing that, oh, yeah, she does actually do some work because they think you don't do anything. I've never worked so many hours in all my life. I've actually never been as poor as I am now.
It's always the way, isn't it? Always the way. It's hilarious. It's perception.
Yeah. Well, poor's the wrong word. I'm only joking. But it's like, your money comes out and then it goes back in. Like, you know, it's so... Yeah, I don't know. I love what I do. But yeah, it's not easy either. No. Because you never feel enough, you know.
Do you think you ever get to that point though, where it's like, when is enough? Like, it's always like, well, if I'm making this much, now I can earn this much. Or if I've got this salon, now I can have this salon. Like, or if I'm now doing this, I can do this. And it's like, it's constant, like, and I feel that all the time myself, and I see it all with the community that I have,
Yeah.
and it's like, when is enough enough?
Well, I think for me, that's how I operated. But like I say, that 9th year, I nearly lost everything. My sanity, my business. And I think when everything gets stripped away, you realise what is important. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, my family, my husband and my son were the most important thing. And I think, you know, without me realising, I'd got into the shiny object thing, the bag, the car, the this, like need to be seen, like, you know, and none of it means anything, you know, it meant nothing. But I think when you nearly lose everything, like it really does make you look at things in a different way. And I believe that was meant to happen to me because it then made me bring out the even, you know, the real version of me, you know.
What happened on that 9th year for you, for this to happen?
Because I'd just opened the Alcuz salon, which is the one that you came to. So in the 10 years, I've opened one salon. I'd opened 3 in Abu Dhabi. I bought a salon, sold it. I opened another one in Dubai and another one. So it's 7 salons in 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And it was that, shiny object syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I've really no idea. Like now, but because of doing all of that and nearly losing it all, I had to really go in and do the work. I was like, no wonder. Like, do you know what I mean? No wonder I got like...
You can scale too quickly, right?
Scale too quickly. Like it's madness. Like there's so much that can always be done, you know, and the way salon businesses operate and the net margins in it. And then we go and open another one. It's like, my God, you could literally get to 30, 35%, some to even 50% net profit margins if you knew how to utilise the tools within it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With less overheads, less stress. And that's the thing, like we think, oh, she's opening another salon, she's doing really well. And they've just doubled the stress, doubled your overheads.
Yeah.
You know, and I did that, 7 times?
I mean, kudos to you. You've still done well, but the thing is you've learnt with it, right? Like that's the thing, you've learnt with it.
And this is why I'm so open about things. Like I love to share because it's not, it's like my therapy as well, you know, it's like,
Definitely.
like I think why would you not tell somebody or help somebody in that way or give them that advice? You know, it is the truth. Do you know what I mean? But if you look at every business owner, every entrepreneur, all these, you know, your big people, they've got the story behind it. They've lost, they've failed, they've lost, you know.
It's the failures and the failing. I don't like saying failing, but it is what that is. Like that's the part where people really then grow and scale.
Absolutely.
Without those, we're all just living cushy, just carry on with what we're doing. But without you really do.
So that's why I know these things are meant to happen because I know that there's a next level. And then something's going to happen again. There's a next level, you know. So, that's where you learn.
Yeah.
That's where you learn, definitely.
Yeah.
But, like I say, never been, like, businesses never, like, so a year later, we've never been in, like, do you know what I mean? Things have changed so much because I've had to face the things, you know, and do the work. I mean, it was a really hard couple of years, but now, and this is the thing, like when you haven't got the money, you get creative, don't you? Because you're like, right, okay. You think that money's going to solve the problem. If I had this money now, this is going to solve the problem. But it doesn't. It's the thing that you've got to do in order to get the money. So, like, you know, I believe, you know, I had all sorts of thoughts. I was like, right, I'm going to sell. I'm going to become a housewife. I'm going to be like... But then I saw my husband's face, the look on his face. I was like, And I was like, okay, no, not that one. But yeah, like it's like, there was various moments. If somebody could have given me some money, I would have thought I'd have been okay. But I understand now why, because it was like, no, you've got more stuff you need to learn. But ultimately, right, in these last 2 years, the difficulties that I've had have made me learn and understand and create some unbelievable things, which I believe now for the next 10 years are just going to take me to the next level.
Yeah, for sure, which is going to be so exciting to see.
Yeah.
You say about obviously the profit margins, the numbers, the things that people in our industry just don't even look at, which I'm seeing time and time again. And it's like sometimes like banging your head against a brick wall, but it's so important. Like,
Of course it is. It's not a charity.
or expensive hobby, or
Because that's pretty miserable.
yeah, it's
But I learned the hard way because I'm a hairdresser as well. I thought I am that person. I thought I could do it better. I thought, yeah, come here, I'll pay you this. I didn't even know what my rent was before I'd offered that. You know, I didn't know about stock percentages, didn't know about wage bills. Do you know what I mean? Didn't know about fixed costs, rent percentages. Do you know what I mean? All of those, let alone the visa costs and everything you've got here, which is an added expense. So yeah, I learned the hard way. Still learning now.
yeah, of course.
Still learning now. Like I've just got back from Vegas because I went to go and learn about scaling businesses, you know, and I think that's the last few years this is what I mean, like invest in the things that people can't take away from you.
Yeah.
You need coaches. You need people to teach you. Do you know what I mean? Like or how else are you going to learn?
You only know what you know. Like, that's it. You only know what you know. You have to learn off people that are doing bigger and better things than you. Like, no different to, school I don't really have the best relationship with, or universities and stuff. Yeah. But, you know, you only know those things if you go and study. Definitely. It's no different.
That's it.
No different.
Like you do the best with what you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you're struggling in your business or you're struggling in your life, then go and find out how to do something about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, rather than blame culture and just
moaning about it.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. It's always somebody else's problem.
They don't take accountability for their own doing,
Yeah. And it was funny that on that 9th year, I was like, it's me again. I'm the problem. Because that's it. I've had these moments where it's like, it was me. Even though it's painful, you were the only person that you can rely on. You were the only person that can do anything about it.
Yeah.
But once you understand it's you and you can do something about it, it's really quite empowering.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I say this all the time as well. We see people that are maybe in a hole with that, especially in the UK. We have people that have really high turnover.
Yeah.
There's people that are really struggling with other things. And it's like, we need to look at what you're doing first. Like, we can blame the accountant, we can blame the team, we can blame all the things, but it normally comes down to what we're doing as individuals.
Everything comes from the top, guys.
It really does. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, but then you're like, oh my God, if you have a team, you need to listen up. I have just launched the 8-week accredited management course. Now, this is for you if you have a team or if you're thinking of a team. We need to start getting your business running like clockwork and getting your team to work the best that they can for you. This is also great for you to actually put your managers on this course so they are managing the show as they should. Now, this is a self-led online course with a different module every single week over 8 weeks. And it also comes with the workbook for you to fill out. You would make sure that you fill out that workbook, send it back, and then that's when you'll get your certification. Everything is covered in this course, from team targets to leading your team, to changing your mindset, to having difficult conversations, to actually getting them, bringing income into the business like they should. Now, if you feel that this is for you, then make sure you click the link below, because trust me, it is literally going to change the game for you and your business. You're okay. You're kind of right.
But I love that. If my life is down to other people and their behaviour, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because you can't control other people's behaviour, you know. And I think that's being in business or just life in general. Like, everything is down to you. How you react, your decision, how you manage your time, where you put your priorities, you know. And I think if everybody just start to understand that a little bit more and maybe just started to learn a little bit about it, everybody would feel a little bit happier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about team slightly. Here, is it very much the same as the UK, where you've got employment method and you've got the self-employment method? No,
not really. Because here you have to have a visa. You have to have a visa to work. And we have a trade license, and then under the trade license, you then get a certain amount of visas. Every visa is expensive.
Yes.
Not only do you have to do a visa, you have to buy medical insurance, and you have to provide an Emirates ID. So, before you've even taken this person on, you're about 15,000 dirhams down, which is about $3,000 down. And the thing is, people can't work without an employment visa. So it's a huge risk.
Yeah.
It's a huge risk. You've got to make sure that the person that you're employing is the right fit, because otherwise you're just visa after visa after visa. Some people do have their own visas, which is a different thing, but you still then have to give them like an employment card. So this is where it gets a little bit.
Blurred,
people think
right?
they're self-employed because they're on a commission split and they've got freedom. So your company will do your visa, and this is where it's really wrong here. Your company's going to pay for your visa. You're going to get holiday pay. You get to come and go as you please, and then you get to take a higher percentage. The staff member thinks they're self-employed, but when really, how does that say that they're self-employed when you're still getting this, this, and this? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think I would like to call it more of a flexible visa, if somebody's doing that. So if you want to provide your own visa, yes, we have flexible employment, but the standards have got to be the standards.
Do you think that people are doing then the percentage splits because they just don't know? They just don't know any other way. They think it's easier to do it that way, so they do it, but then realise that doesn't actually bring you any income or enough.
I don't think people actually realise.
Do you think that's what it is? They just don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's bizarre, because until you start to look at numbers and understand them, you don't really know. You think, I've had a good month this month. I brought in X amount more than last month. And then you go and you're like, where is it? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think people really understand that a couple of percent here, 2% here, do you know what I mean? A saving of a few thousand, this, like at the end of the year, you could be four to 600,000 better off just with small tweaks. So I don't think people really know. And I think it's really difficult because, again, here, and I struggled with this, it's the demand side of the business, getting clients through the door.
Yeah.
So sometimes, to solve that problem, what they'll do is they'll offer somebody high commission because they want their demand. They want their clients. 9 times out of 10, probably only 50% will follow because it's about the location. So now what you've got is somebody underutilised on the floor, and you're paying high commissions, and I think, look, high commissions are fine, but you've got to stagger them. You've got to incentivise. If you're on like a 50% commission and you're bringing in 40,000 dirhams, 20,000 is a very good salary.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you're not really motivated by money, you're not going to work any harder.
No.
Or if you've not got any career development, or you're a bit bored, you're just like, you don't know where to go. So it's it's a funny one. It's a really funny one.
Yeah. Because obviously in the UK, the percentage splits is not legal. Like, they have to be employed hourly rate, or they're completely self-employed and it's seen as a separate business.
I think, if the two could be merged a little bit, it would be great. I remember being in the UK and being on a fixed base salary and low commission. You think, well, what's the point in doing the extra client? The good thing with a commission split is you get to take a bigger cut of what you're earning when you hit higher numbers. So there's the motivation and the incentive more so.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're on a basic with, a smaller percentage, it's great at the beginning because the lower numbers you're covered.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's when you start hitting, doubling, tripling your salary that you actually are no better off. So it's, I think I've been on every single pay structure there is going. And I actually worked my hardest and felt my most fulfilled on a commission split.
What about as an owner?
Yeah. Well,
You
my
found that better?
staff are all on commission split. But they are employed
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we pay the rent. We spend a hell of a lot on marketing. We bring clients through the door. It's not a self-employed business. Yes, come in an hour earlier come in an hour later if you don't have a client. But yeah, you're employed. I pay for your visa. Okay, you're getting a commission split because I actually want you to earn a bit more of what you're earning. I want you to feel like I did, that, oh, wow, yeah, well, there's a reason to do it. So it's, you've just got to be really clear on who you are as a salon and what you stand for. But you can only be clear on that if you have to go back and do the work, because I haven't always been that clear.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to be everybody's friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, do as you want. Like, and I worked out that was probably one of my first major like breakdowns in business, was like, all I'm saying is yes to everybody and still everybody's miserable. Because the thing is, nobody's ever happy. Do you know what I mean? And the more you give people, the more unhappy they become. Because there's no boundaries.
Boundaries is what kills so many people when it comes to business, like, and especially with the team side of things, like, just everything needs to have boundaries. And it is that difficult side of it, especially if you're still in the business as well. I can imagine it's a little bit easier for you now. Now you're just doing the salon visits, but when you're in the chair, or you're doing you're in there a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I do want them to be my friend, but it's like, that's when the grey area is.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the thing, and I think that first couple of years in business I had, and they're very good friends of mine now, I went from being everybody's friend. Remember, the old me just wanted to be liked. Do you know what I mean? And then I was that person that was liked, and I've always been on the edge with, mental health problems and stuff. And that was my first big dip having a business, was because people started talking about me. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't their friend anymore. I was their boss. So I was their friend when it suited them. But when they didn't get their own way or something, or I would be spoken about. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, it just it ruined me. It ruined me for such a long time, because I was like, I just couldn't understand it. But again, it was me. I'm the problem. I am the problem because I didn't know these things. I didn't know about being a leader. I didn't know, and I think that was when, after these and it was my second salon that I opened after having my little boy, I was just like, what is wrong with everybody? And then, I was like, I went to a personal development seminar. I was just like, yes, me, and that changed the way I thought from then on. Like, these things are happening for you. And, if there's a problem, it's because you've got to change something. And then that was it. Then I've just become obsessed with, getting better, working on myself. Okay, so what was the thing that I needed to learn in order to get to the side? And it became a bit of a game, to be fair, which then got me into trouble later down the line, because I was like, well, yeah, every time I do this, it gets a bit better. So I can keep pushing the boundaries here. I learned something more, got a bit more confident. And I was like, well, it's working so far, I'll keep doing it. And then that ultimately only got me so far, which, but yeah, it's the power of this.
It is. It's all the mind, isn't it? Every single time. It's so powerful, and we underestimate it.
Definitely. And it's crazy, like, limiting beliefs, we don't realise half the things we're saying to ourselves. I don't want to wake up in the morning because I don't want to have another panic attack. Do you know what I mean? But you don't realise that you're actually programming your head to make you wake up in the morning and have a panic attack, because that's all you're thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we all just need to, comparison of others. And this is what I mean. If you have a business or a salon or anything, or a mum or anybody, never mind what everybody else is doing. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve for yourself? And I think that was one thing about getting so big, was for a long time I wanted to fix people, because I didn't want them going through what I went through, and that was I wanted to create a culture behind it. But it got so big that I didn't know, I couldn't continue about everybody else. Like, if you try to be everything for everybody, you're nobody, aren't you? Like, so yeah, it made me really look at me again. Yeah. What do I want to achieve? Like, what do I want to achieve for myself? And then, I want to create opportunities for other people. I can't continue like this. Vision's pretty much still the same. But once you go back and have that, like, bit of a...
Yeah, you got to work on you first before anyone else.
It's like the plane thing, isn't it? You put your oxygen mask on before you can give it to anybody else.
Yeah.
I suppose my biggest tip is, every 3 months you've got to sit back and you've got to reevaluate. Am I in line with my vision and values? Am I feeling aligned or misaligned?
Yeah.
Am I feeling burnt out? Like, for 10 years now, my whole thing has been Tara Rose salons. But if you put me in the wrong part of Tara Rose salons, I become burnt out, misaligned and miserable. Do you know what I mean? So it's like understanding that you have to evolve within it, you know, and I think it will always be that, but don't put me in the wrong position either, you know, because just because I don't like doing it, it doesn't mean that I hate my business. It's just, no, that's not meant for me, that bit. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that's a really wise thing to obviously talk about as well, because so many people think, well, I'm the business owner, so I need to do it all. And it's like, there is so many parts of the business that you will hate doing. And just because you hate doing it, why do you have to keep doing it?
Yeah.
You clearly then outsource that to a team member to be able to take over.
And you need to give people opportunities to grow, you know, like try and do everything and you don't do anything properly. It really is. But I think we try to do too many things in one go. I am literally still learning this lesson now. Like I've just come back from Vegas and I'm like, we're going to fix this one problem and we're not moving on until we've done this one problem. Because there's always a million fires to put out. There always will be. And I learnt this when I was away. Like, it's really quite simple. You follow this checklist. You work on this and you work on this. And you don't move on to the next until you've nailed that. Do you know what I mean? And it's normally we're working on step number 4 when we should be back at number 1, you know. And I think I was just like, wow, insane. Because before I'd gone away, I'm building training courses, doing SOPs. I was like, I need to go back to number 1. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's just, it's really hard to know where do I put my time and attention. But when we spread it too thin, we do nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we've always got lots of incomplete jobs and tasks, and then another thing comes in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, just trying to it's not easy.
It's such a natural thing as well for women, and then natural entrepreneurs that we are thinking, okay, this next, or I need to do this. What do I do first? And so many people will say, well, what do I work on first? And like you said, the basics just aren't done. How do they know what the basics are?
It depends what the problem you're facing at the time. So is it supply or demand? Do you know what I mean? You got enough people coming through the door, or have you not got enough people to operate, or is it sloppy inside? You know, 9 times out of 10 people don't have enough people coming through the door. That's a fact. You know, if you've got, tell me one person that says I've got too many clients. Do you know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, we're working on the training, the education, the inspiration of the team. Let them just free for all do what you want to do, but we haven't got enough clients coming through the door. So if you've got enough people coming through the door, and you've got enough money, you can then solve another problem. You know, it's like, and I think we get it back to front. And if it's something going on internally and people aren't doing the things that you said they needed to do, it's a system problem. You know, it's not just about writing an SOP. Yeah. Because that's just going to sit in a drawer. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, so what are the things that we talk about? Training, team meetings, briefings, you know, one-to-ones. Like, it's a culture thing? Is it an internal thing? Is it standards? You know, it's always one or the other. Yeah. And again, you know, the more you open, it's hard because you're trying to fix the standards. Actually, I need all this, you know. And I think 9 times we just, it becomes so overwhelming.
Yeah, it definitely is. How have you found gaining new clients with every location? You've obviously started off needing a whole new client base again, which is the hardest part. So how have you done that?
Well, do you know what, now with the franchise that I've opened, well, no, the franchise that we've taken on with Daisy, oh my God, it's so much easier because of every mistake that I made. And it was only because of the last one that I was like, yeah, I'll get it open. Then I was like, all right, I need clients now. Do you know what I mean? We get so consumed by it. Like, it's hard, but because you split your attention so much between so many, it's so difficult to focus on that one thing. And I think, now, like, learning marketing strategies and stuff like that, it is. And again, it's great because I'm launching it for Daisy at the same time as I'm working on these things for myself. So I was like, Daisy, you're getting like 10 years worth of like, I was like, you're lucky you're getting it for the price you asked, because like next year it's going to go up.
It's doubling.
Doubling. But yeah, I'm still getting it right now. I still don't have enough clients through the door. Do you know what I mean? As there's still so many holes, so many flaws. But what I do see is where I need to put my attention, and I absolutely understand the path of how to get there, you know. And then when I've got there, it's okay, right, let's look at the next thing. And you have to keep learning along the way.
Yeah. What's your favourite part of running the company?
I love creating something new. But this is the thing. This is where it's, I don't know. I love thinking about different ways to do things, you know. I like being, it's just, and the favourite part about having the company for me is showcasing to the team and the people that I'm a normal person, that I'm actually a lot more less normal than you are. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody thinks you've got your shit together, but yeah, it's like I'm a real person. Do you know what I mean? And
of course.
I like to be able to show the team that you're no different to where I'm, and you're actually a lot further forward than I was at your age. Really, I only got everything together 10 years ago. You know, whereas I've got girls in there. There's one girl that really does remind me of me. She's younger. And she's just always beating herself up that she's not where she should be. I was like, well, at your age, I was actually a lot worse off in some worse situations. So you should be really proud of yourself. So I love that side of it. Yeah. I love being able to help people. I love women coming in. Like I was in the salons the other day and making somebody be able to feel better. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I think as a mum, like when you do get a bit older and you like you've been a mum and a business owner and you feel that. Like,
yeah. Definitely.
Like when you're younger, you don't feel it. Like you see, because I've had some dark moments, like being able to see somebody, that smile on their face is really amazing.
And some part of the reason of why we started in the first place, right, was that feeling we would want to pass on to that client.
Yeah, definitely. Like we're not there. It's not a head of hair. It's a person. Like it's not a head of hair. It's a person. And unfortunately, you know, people just see it as a conveyor belt. And I have to remind my team, I have to remind myself, not just doing hair, like, you know, this is the way somebody feels about themselves. Like the job that you do today is going to determine how she shows up in the world out there, how she's going to feel about herself, better mum, better at work, you know, all of those things. It's also going to determine if she's going to recommend you to other people. You know, it's such a statement. Like literally 2 days ago, I had like a brown bob. Do you know what I mean? Because I hadn't had my hair done. I didn't even cut it myself. I felt horrendous. Do you know what I mean? Like I just was like, you don't feel the same.
Oh God, you don't.
You don't feel the same. But yeah, it's about, I think I really am excited about where this industry is going, because the beauty and wellness industry is moving rapidly, quickly, globally, you know, and if you really understand what it stands for and the abilities of what it can do, I think the sky's the limit, you know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we've lost the ability to really understand the power of what we do.
What mistakes do you think that you're seeing with people in this industry?
I think everybody just thinks that one day to the next, you know, survival mode. It's a job, like it's, you know, they're not, like, go back. Why are you doing this? Why do you, like, whether you're working for somebody or whether you're a business owner, 5 years are going to go past really, really quickly. Do you want to be in the same situation in 5 years? You know, are you going to work or are you coming to your business and complaining all day long? You know, and I think this is the problem. It's the lack of awareness of, we all have the ability to achieve anything we want in life. Do you know what I mean? And I think everybody's just so consumed by other people and things and you know, it's just, it's your life. What do you want to do with it? You know? And I think that's where everybody goes wrong, to be fair, is that lack of confidence in themselves and thinking that's it.
Do you think it's just where like social media is so big as well now that everyone's just comparing and consuming everyone else's lives that they're completely forgetting to focus on their own self?
Yeah, I think that anything, like I talk about a lot about the 8 pillars of wellness. If there's a problem going on in your life and you are healthy and you're not terminally ill, it's to do with one of these pillars. Social wellness is huge. What we eat, our diet isn't just what we eat, it's what we consume. So if you're sat there scrolling and something is making you feel bad, you shouldn't be looking at it. You should mute it and silence it. Social media is amazing if you're looking at the right stuff. Like there's so many lead magnets with like how to do this better, like prompts for this, like it depends on, like I talk about the 80-20 rule as well, like your belief system. Like the thing that you want is the outcome is just 20%. So that 80% here is belief and action. They're split into 2. So if you've got a negative belief and you take no action, your outcome is going to be, oh, I've put on 2 stone this year. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever. But if your 80% belief system is split into the positive thought and some type of action, you're going to achieve the flip. And it's as simple as, I'm no good with money, right? And then you sit there and you go online shopping. Or as, okay, I'm going to learn to be better with money and I'm going to track one thing I've spent this month. Do you know what I mean? It's like the difference in the thought process. So I think, it's just, we get so caught up in here. Like it's crazy, just the power of changing a few things around can change a world around. And that, I only say that is because I've been in those situations.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Amazing. What would you say is next for you before we wrap up?
Well, there's a few things. I obviously we're franchising. Not making any big moves this year. Not rushing anything. Tightening stuff up. I never thought in a million years I would be excited about Excel sheets, spreadsheets, I don't know. I always thought I wasn't smart enough to know these things, and I've learned that I do understand them. So tightening things up. 2027, yes, there's going to be things happening. Franchise is obviously a big thing on the cards, but I've come back from America now and there's a few other things. So I just, I don't know, I need to, like I say, no shiny object system. Just finish the thing that I said I was going to do this year, which is that. And at the end of it, let's see what happens.
What are the top things you learned in America?
There's a whole big world out there, it's a lot of opportunity as well. I think, that service-based industries get a bad rap, but if you can learn how to scale, duplicate and replicate them and then, branch off into other areas of it, it's a very, very powerful business, and I think it's just, I've been in the UAE 17 years and I love it. Like you've just got here and I love it. Like I would not be the person I am without it. But I think also like sometimes I felt really free when I was there. It was the new version of me as well. And I think, like it just, sometimes we just need to open this a bit more. But I think, there's a few things I've been working on, systems type of thing and SaaS models and stuff like that. So there's smart ways to make money, I think, as well.
There is smart ways to make money for sure.
Hopefully less stressful. So I don't know. I think the only way I'll know is by really boxing off everything this year to make sure. I think at the end of the day, my number one priority, and this isn't because I'm going to do it, is getting my businesses ready to be able to sell.
Yeah.
And that's not me saying I'm going to sell them. But unless they are boxed off and they are able to be sold, I'm never going to be able to step away to do anything else,
We're building businesses to sell them one day, right? Like, especially when they're service-based businesses.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look, it's just, if they're ready to sell, they run without you. And I haven't got to that point. Like, I was away for 2 weeks and I think if I'd been away for another, like it would have been, a lot harder to come back. So like I've got a lot of work to do. They definitely don't operate without me, that's for sure.
We need to talk.
We're getting there. But that's I'm the bottleneck as well because I put myself in everywhere, and it's but But yeah, no, I love it. It's great. And I love it when I put myself to a challenge, because you won't stop me either.
I love that. You're a pleasure to have on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next time, do come in and use the space.
Well, thank you for welcoming me. Like, it's been amazing having you there on my little part of my journey.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me. Everyone go in, follow out Tara Rose. I think we'll be in the show notes, and yeah, I'll see
Thank
you soon.
you.